Welcome back to Ask the Lawyer. I'm your host, Brenda Teal, here to answer your legal questions about an issue that many of you may have experienced with a loved one. It's nursing home abuse. Lawyer Clinesmith is with the Clinesmith firm, and he's here answering your questions today. The number to call is 888-816-2521. Again, it's 888-816-2521. Or email your question to curtis@clinesmithfirm.com. We do have an email question to throw at you now. This person is John. He says, how can I tell if a facility is actually going to be good for my parents? Little preventative maintenance.
Well, the main thing is, again, to visit the facility. Make sure that you don't, the typical smells that you would expect in a home setting are present in a nursing home, that it's not too antiseptic or other smells that you may not want to smell. But
yeah, we'll just say other smells.
Exactly.
That's it.
But I mean, the main thing is to question the staff about staffing. How many people do you have on your staff?
Yeah. What's some of the worst case scenarios you've seen?
Well, the worst case scenarios always deal with staffing, to be honest. A facility is understaffed, or they have staff that may have been criminals. Criminal background checks are needed, and sometimes facilities don't do that properly. So there, we've dealt with, a whole range of cases that would make you shudder, and I don't really want to go into the examples out of respect for the families. But I mean, anytime you see a pressure sore, anytime you see a fall, anytime you see someone that is not getting their medication properly or timely, those are indications there's nursing home abuse.
888-816-2521 is the number to call. Another email question for us. This one says, it's from Brenda. Hi, Brenda. And how do you spot general abuse in a nursing home?
Well, I mean, again, I think it comes back to the way that you feel your relative is being treated. If they're not being cleaned properly, if they're not getting baths, if their call lights are not being answered timely. And the main thing is to listen to your loved one. Too often, as people age, we take them not as seriously as we should, and we don't listen to their complaints. The number one thing anyone with a loved one in a nursing home should do is listen to that loved one. If they're complaining about not getting food or water, there's a really good chance they're not. And dehydration and malnutrition, which we haven't even talked about, are very prevalent in nursing homes. So if you have someone that is losing weight, that's another example of what can be considered nursing home abuse.
All right, 888-816-2521, 888-816-2521. If you're not able to get through right away, please keep trying. Joining us on the phone now is Bob from Garland. Hi, Bob.
Yes, I was just wondering, I'm concerned. I have two brothers whose legs were amputated within a 4-month period in a nursing home. This has been about a year ago. Haven't had any success in trying to get any firm to investigate it or pursue it. And I was just wondering if I might have some type of rights or may have a case or so. But it's been very difficult, and it was gross neglect and everything else that you can think of that's not good. So that's kind of where we are. I'm looking at the show now, and that's why I'm calling in.
Okay. Thanks, Bob, for your call.
That we have probably 10 cases that are similar to the fact pattern we just heard, unfortunately. It typically is a situation with diabetes that wasn't regulated properly, or there might have been pressure ulcers that turned to gangrene that resulted in the amputations, and that is just straight up abuse. And if the caller would call our firm or email us, we'll certainly look at the case and see if there's nursing home abuse present.
My next question, thinking about what Bob said, is there difficulty in who can bring the suit? Is there sometime?
We do need a close relative, but we'll speak to any relative. I want to make that clear. Anyone that feels that they have an abuse pattern with a relative, it doesn't matter if you're a grandson, niece, nephew, we'll talk to you, and then we'll make sure that the proper people are on the lawsuit.
Okay, very good. Up next, another email question now, this one from Karen in Addison. She says, my father slipped and fell on a bath mat while showering. The mat was not secured to the shower floor. She wants to know what the next step should be.
Well, call my office. That's probably the next step. But we can certainly look and see if that's a matter of abuse. With that question, I'm not sure if it was. It certainly could be. If there are orders within the chart that says this person needs a two-person assist or something along those lines, and it certainly could be a case of abuse.
All right, 888-816-2521, 888-816-2521. We'll be back answering more of your questions about nursing home abuse right after this.